Hey there. I wanted to jump on really quick this evening to talk about, you'll see in the title, we're talking about, I don't know if any of you guys have experienced waking up in the morning with butterflies in your stomach, kind of like that roller coaster, that upward part of the roller coaster. And you're having that feeling in your stomach, waking up in the morning and sometimes all day long. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about one of the biggest myths that I heard when I started researching about what was going on with me with those butterflies and the anxiety. The biggest myth as far as what it's about. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about my story and how I um, have overcome anxiety. So, as I'm sharing my story, if you know someone who is dealing with anxiety, whether it's the butterflies in the stomach or some other kind of anxiety, go ahead and hit share on this video and invite them to join in. Um, so, and also, if you've got some issues around anxiety, make sure you stay tuned and also hit comment, hit drop a comment below, and I'll try to answer any questions you have. Um, but I want to hear from you guys if you experience this. So um, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, that experience of having um, that ongoing tingling in your belly and you can't really explain it. You can't really pinpoint it, what's going on. Typically it's anxiety, and anxiety shows up in a lot of different ways, but how it showed up for me, one of the ways it showed up for me was this butterfly feeling in my stomach. And it would happen as soon as I wake up in the morning. Sometimes it would wake me up in the morning, and then also throughout the day, on and off throughout the day, I would just have this feeling of being like nervous, but there was nothing going on that I could pinpoint why I'm feeling like this. Why am I feeling this nervous feeling? And so during my research and trying to figure out what was going on, um, I came across a few things. Before I get into that, let me just introduce myself for those who don't know me. My name is Cheryl Grant, and I am an inner healing teacher and coach, formerly a business coach. But since I've been on this journey, the last couple years of healing, I have aligned more with my purpose. And so I'm helping women go from inner chaos to inner calm, and primarily focusing on anxiety because that is a big issue for a lot of us and it's keeping a lot of us stuck. So when you have anxiety, like I had, the tingling in the belly feels like butterflies. Butterflies might be cute, but it's not cute when it's in your belly and you're waking up to that. And it's going on all day long, off and on, and you don't know what to do with it. And then when you go and see a doctor or see somebody about it, they want to give you medication. Or if you talk to someone about it, they tell you to meditate. Well, I didn't want to take medication and I didn't want to meditate. Okay, that's just me. But one of the biggest myths in that I discovered about this is most people will tell you, the doctors, everybody kind of was saying, it's from worrying about something you don't have control over. It's about worrying about the future and thinking about those things, and that's causing you anxiety. And you've got to stop focusing on things you can't control and blah, blah, blah. Well, that's not necessarily true, is what I found out. So, in the work I do, as far as helping the body to rebalance, releasing old energy, releasing old trapped emotions, because feelings buried alive never die. When you have unprocessed emotions, you have unprocessed feelings, things that you've gone through, unprocessed traumas, they stay in your body. And they're going to show up some kind of way. And one of the ways mine was showing up was through anxiety. And so when they tell you that the anxiety is because you're worrying about something in the future, it's really not necessarily that. Now, it could be that something that's happening currently, or you might be thinking about something in the future and that triggered an old trauma or triggered some trapped emotion that you have in your body, and then that caused the anxiety. That's possible. But what the actual issue is, the root of the issue, is not what you're thinking about in the future or that's going on currently necessarily. Okay? So, one of the things that I do when I, work on myself or work on a client is I'm able to pinpoint exactly what's going on that's causing the anxiety. Is it a trapped emotion? Is it some other type of energy that's trapped, stuck in the body? Is it some core negative beliefs or some negative programming or some trauma that you've been through? So for me, one of the biggest things that caused my anxiety was trauma that I had over 30 years ago. So here I am today, 50 something odd years old, 53 today. And something that happened when I was 19 is what kept coming up related to my anxiety. That was the bulk of it. So when you think about anxiety, a lot of times it's old stuff. I found that with myself. I found that with other clients that I've worked on. It's old stuff. And our bodies gives us signals. Your body will give you a signal that something is going on. Anxiety is a symptom. It's a signal. It's a signal saying there's something going on in your body that's ready to be resolved. And once you resolve it, the anxiety subsides. And so that's what I've learned over the last couple of years. And in working on my anxiety, I've gotten it to a place where I don't wake up with it in the mornings anymore. So that's huge, because that's not the way you want to start your day, is waking up with anxiety. So I've been able to stop it from happening first thing in the morning. And then also it subsided to where I don't have it all day, every day. So it may come here and there. But because I've learned how to release it when it's active, when I'm feeling it, then I can go in, I can figure out exactly what's causing it. Is it a trapped emotion? Is it something else going on? Some old trauma? Figure out where it's from and then release it and allow my body to rebalance, and then it subsides. And so what this is doing is getting that the underlying issues and getting rid of them, and not just doing some of the surface stuff that you could do, like a temporary fix, like deep breathing or something like that, and that'll help you in the moment. It won't necessarily release what's underneath that's causing it in the first place. Okay? I'm sure meditation works. I haven't been able to focus and concentrate long enough in meditation to figure out how to get that to work. But what I do is release it out so that I don't have to worry about it, all the time. And so that's what's worked for me, and my clients that I've worked on to help relieve anxiety, because it is not fun. Anxiety is not fun. If you've ever experienced it, you'll know that it's just not anything easy to live with. And it just makes your daily life just not at peace, not calm. And you don't even know why. You're feeling nervous, and it's not like you have an appointment coming up. You don't have any big interview. You don't have anything going on, but you've got this nervous feeling in your stomach. And that's not fun. And anxiety shows up different ways. It's not always in the stomach. It's different symptoms. But for me, that's where it was. And so that's kind of what I wanted to share with you today, is just to give you an idea of, what's going on when you're having anxiety. Number one, it's not necessarily about you worrying about the future or stressing about something that's going to happen that hasn't happened yet. That's not necessarily what's going on. And number two, that old stuff, you might think you've gotten away from it. It's going to come back. My trauma that was causing the primary issue with my anxiety was, like I said, when I was 19 years old. Something that I hadn't talked about until I think I was probably in my mid-40s before I even talked about it. And that's what's causing me anxiety. Even though I wasn't thinking about it, I had pushed that way back. So thought I was over it. thought it didn't really bother me anymore. It didn't on a conscious level, but my anxiety said, nah, 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 I'm still here. So that's what's going on typically when you're having anxiety. And so for me, because I'm not a person that I don't like taking medicines, and that's something that works for you, that's fine. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. It's just not for me. I wanted to find a way to deal with it without going that route. And for me, I don't like if there's a symptom, the symptom is there telling you that something is wrong. I don't want to do something to make the symptom go away, but whatever was causing the symptom is still there. So that's one of the things I like about the work that I do now, because it gets to the root of what the symptoms are. It could be anxiety, it could be body pain, whatever, because those things, those traumas, those old unresolved feelings, those things are going to come back one way or the other. So that's basically what I wanted to share with you guys tonight. I wanted to jump on live. I haven't been on live in a while. So I wanted to do that, share some tips on anxiety, because that's an area that I want to help other women heal from. So you can have peace, you can have that inner calm, and not walk around during the day trying to pretend like you're okay all the time. You've got these butterflies in your belly. So if you've dealt with that, or if you have any questions for me, go ahead and drop them in the comments, and I'll be glad to answer them for you. I also put a link if you want to have a free consultation to find out a little bit more about how to release some of that old stuff that might be causing you anxiety. I'll have a link there available for you. There's also the book now button that's on the page as well. But that's all I wanted to share, and talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.